like to put this issue in perspective. First of all, wild horses and burros are restricted to live on just 11% of the Bureau of Land Management lands, while livestock grazing is allowed on more than 65% of Bureau of Land Management lands. We often hear the Bureau of Land Management saying there's an overpopulation of wild horses. There are excess horses. They're breeding out of control in the range. We have to round them up. But what they don't tell you is they don't put it in perspective. Even on the small amount of land, which this graph shows you here, horses and burros are only allowed on 26 million acres out of 245 million acres the BLM manages. 157 million acres are open to livestock grazing. And yet on this small amount of land designated for horses and burros, the BLM gives away the majority of resources to livestock. The American Wild Horse Preservation Campaign analyzed the BLM numbers of how they permit livestock grazing and wild horses on the public lands. And we found that 82% of the forage is allocated to livestock. Well, 82% of the forage is allocated to livestock, only 17% of the forage is allocated to wild horses and burros. And this puts into perspective, when we hear the BLM telling us there's an overpopulation of wild horses, it's not true. What we have is an overpopulation of private commercial livestock grazing on our public lands, and what they're doing is they're scapegoating wild horses and burros for land degradation.
Amen.
Mismanaged this program for so many years, and it's led to what we have here today. We have stockpiling of more wild horses and burros at government holding facilities than we have free on the range.
Yep.
And here to address the solutions to this problem and related issues, I'd like to introduce Netta De Mayo, founder and CEO of Return to Freedom, a wild horse sanctuary that provides a model for on-the-range management of wild horses. And Netta is also the founder of the American Wild Horse Preservation Campaign.
Joined the campaign 2.5 years ago, and I think they're